All right, what is up, you beautiful people, and welcome back to another Direct Strike Weekly Brawl. Looks like we got some auras again. I'm gonna open up with one single roach here. We got some hallowed ground auras. We got aura in the corner. We got bountiful. All right, boys. So just like a nice little CDR brawl here, I'm guessing. Nice a little fun activity here. All right. It's been a hot minute since I played some Direct Strike, man. This week has been packed. No. Oh, yes. I mean, yes. I saw these two and I was like, "Oh, I don't have CDR." The day is saved. Looks like we're against Nova? We're against Nova. All right. I know exactly what I'm doing. It's swarm host time, boys. There we go. Where am I gonna put this? I'm gonna put this over here, I guess. I don't know. I'll put this over here. Alright, give me them swarm hosts. Looks like we got a swan on our team here. So yeah, this central aura here gives cooldown reduction, so we're gonna slam some hosts. Let's see if I can get a second one here before we head out. There we go. 50% CD host. Pretty good. Pretty good. Not as good as 150%, but you know, still pretty good. Because it's bountiful, I gotta make sure I auto gas here. I feel like it's been bountiful the past few weeks, so that's been good. Oh wait, my host can't attack air, so they're not gonna. Oh, there we go. We got the burrow in there. Oh, and they're gonna get gunned down. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Nova went Marauders, so she's gonna have a tough time here because these two Marauders would have been like either a tier 2 upgrade or I don't know, one Hellbat Ranger, approximately in terms of cash. So it's our. Oh, there's two Novas. There's two Novas. Interesting. I think Stetman is probably the most dangerous thing here. Anyways, we got a high Archon coming in. Nice. All right. Oh wow, Swan is opening Goliaths into. Well, into Gary's not too bad, but then the things that Stetman can build are really good against Goliaths. So let's see. Mecha Roaches have 110 health only? Oh man. Oh well. Oh, he's just building pure Goliaths. I mean, not Goliaths, Marauders. There we go. You gotta keep scanning, boys. If you don't scan, you can't see me. There we go. We got another wave coming out here. Oh man, the Marauder Commandos cannot get through this. Alright, well, we're on the right path here, boys. We're on the right track here. Enemy Nova doesn't have detection for her stuff either. But yeah. But the Marauder Commandos are a good choice against me because I really don't have anything to tank them. The only thing I can tank them with is like Ravagers? I don't even know. Actually, Ravagers might be a good choice anyways. But I think it's time to switch it up here just to get some get some Ravagers. I don't know, we've been getting lots of Ravagers all the time, so I'm gonna change things up here. Got some Swarm Hosts instead with that cooldown reduction. Those Goliaths are getting swarmed real quick here. So was the rest of our base, but that's okay. Oh no, Locust, what are you doing? What are you doing, Step Locust? Oh my god. Expiring, it seems. Alright. There we go. Man, now that I've started teaching in person, like I've had to change up my schedule entirely. So now I wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning every day. It is rather interesting, as they say. That's a lot of Hellbats. Archons are decently good against the Hellbats. But yeah, I have to wake up at like 4 a.m. every day, and like I basically just work in the morning for like 2 to 3 hours. Planning out the day's stuff because I don't really have like a, what is it? They don't give me anything to teach. All right, how about that? Like I just like we have a curriculum, but it's just very generic, vague document. So basically, I have to come up with everything because the previous teachers, plural, the previous teachers, because the previous teachers just didn't. I don't know what they were doing either. Like, and according to the kids, they weren't doing anything good, boys. Anyways, our swarm hosts are stacking up here. And we have reached ideal swarm host territory here. ideal swarm host territory is when the last wave of swarm hosts tank for your first wave of, for your next wave of swarm hosts. We got some ravens coming in here. Anyways, swarm host is always going to be a good choice here. Very few things that can really shut it down entirely, especially when it's not like 6 times Aura Brawl. There we go. I don't know why Nova has a Raven. I don't know, maybe a Lib would have been better against Artanis. Dragoons aren't too great into Libs. Stetman really needs either Lurkers or Banelings, or both. Whatever he has going with the Infestors. Infestors just aren't the same, okay? Like, Swarm Hosts spawn constantly. Infestors is like, oh no, I've run out of energy. Alright, guess I'll die. That's Infestors, boys. That's Infestors. Swarm Host is like, hey, I got another batch coming right up. Yeah, see, these Marauder Commandos were a mistake. I don't know. Marauder Commandos are a decently strong opener if you got the CD, but, like, you know, sometimes Swarm Hosts make you see these nougats? These nuts? I don't know. Let's put these over here, put these over here. And let's put that over there. There we go. I don't even have weapon upgrades yet. I probably should get some. Probably should get some. I could also get another Swarm Host. That's probably more worth it here. Oh, the Mecha Ravagers actually are. They're actually doing some baby AoE here, Mecha Ravagers. I mean, you know, they got that Plasma Discharge. They're mechanical and they're summoned. Oh my god, you know what they need? They need a unit that does more damage to summoned units. Because there's a summoned tag, right? So if there's a unit that does more damage to summoned units, maybe that could be like a counter to like Swarm Hosts. But then again, it's like, I don't know, Swarm Hosts are already so expensive and already kind of like weak normally. They're only strong when like they spawn at a ridiculously high rate, which is what's happening right now. Oh, but I think we're about to get breached here. Our position is about to get breached. We have some Reavers coming in here. I've basically made the entire enemy team build around my Swarm Hosts, which is good. That's a good thing. You're controlling the game, which means my allied teammates should ideally do something like go into the skies or something like that. But Artanis, I guess Artanis can do something on the ground. I don't know. He's still kind of strong on that front. Goliath's coming in here, being protected by my Swarm Hosts. Hopefully being protected by my Swarm Hosts here. There we go, boys. But yeah, with the new schedule that I'm working with, we're probably going to only have tier lists coming out on Saturdays now. So it's like a day later than the Brawl usually comes out. But, like, I don't know. We'll just have to live with that fact for now. Otherwise, there'll be, like, zero consistency from there on in. Like, it'll literally be impossible. Because I still got to teach on Fridays. Alright, let's get some armor up here on our Swarm Hosts. Yeah. I mean, tanks can maybe do something like hold off the inevitable. But the Swarm Hosts constantly push forward here. Oh yeah, baby. Let's get that push. And we're just going to keep piling them on. We're just going to creep forward slowly. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. Banshees don't seem like a bad idea. Except there's only one of them, so it's not nearly good enough. Oh yeah, boys. This is where you need to call Karax. It's like, hi Karax. I have a roast infestation. And Karax is like, how bad is it? There's about 500 locusts here. It's like, alright. Alright, boys. Pack it up. We're bringing the Colossi. Karax Colossi will probably handle it decently well. Because the hosts come out, the host things come out in like little waves. So they'll definitely handle it. I mean, I think Stetman can definitely handle it too. He's finally got some lurkers, but I don't know. Focus Strike algorithm is better against big boys, not small boys. Because the small boys die almost instantly, and then the Focus Strike algorithm runs out. Unless he focuses on the Swarm Host, then that's very good. If he focuses on the Swarm Host, then I'll have a bad time. But Currently, it doesn't look like it. Nova's tanks are landing a lot of support fire, which is good for Nova. I don't know if it's really bad for us either. Like, it's not like they're not actually able to get into our swarm host stack, you know. Okay, so the previous stack. Oh, the previous stack expired, but they still spawn locusts. And Swan's vessels here are helping us out. Nova herself, who is probably the only detection there besides the Ravens, have gotten gunned down here. Come on. I need to get some Vipers and then this is finished. Like once the Vipers come around, oh man. The tanks are done. Tanks are done. Joke's over. Oh man, okay, there we go. Alright. I'm just enjoying the destruction right now. Those tanks here are just trying to hang in there. Nova probably has them in attack speed or something. Yeah, she has them in attack speed. Nah, that's probably it, boys. That's gonna be it. That gotta be it, right? Swan's fixed this Goliath problem. You can see here they're attacking and they're shooting. Both things at the same time here. I'm gonna drop a fat mend here. See, now the tanks are hiding behind the Nexus. There we go. Oh, what a beautiful Abathur game here. Max lame. Nah, boys. This was max value. Let's see here. There we go. If you can't handle the Swarm Host, boys, are you even playing Direct Strike? There we go. Mineral value killed. Actually, not that much. The Swarm Hosts don't really do a lot of damage. It's like the psychological damage that they do, and they just tank really hard. So your allies are just basically free to do whatever. And I think Swan just went and built a lot of Goliaths, which are very powerful if they are protected. And that is exactly what happened. All right, so let's go on to the tier list, boys. Right, and we're back. Let's go. So, Brawl modifiers, we have Bountiful Refineries granting us double income, which is great. Hallowed gives us some buffs on the staging area, so be sure to use them wisely. Sometimes your formations will look a little funky this week, but, you know, for once, you'll have to sacrifice aesthetics for functionality. And then we have Aura, which is, you know, our crowd favorite. Just a powerful buff for the team. Not the team, your units. So I think really just got to maximize your Aura and Hallowed synergy. Like if you can make sure those things stack with each other or on top of each other. I don't know. As best as possible, as we saw there with the cooldown reduction there. And then Bountiful also means big boys, big memes. So it's like potential to buy very pricey capital units that you don't see. So if you are a commander with capital units, you could, I don't know, just force them out. If you're a commander who does not have capital units, well, you better have an answer for them. I guess the winning strategy is probably not to buy the capital units, I'll be honest. Like, for example, Alarak, it's probably better to buy, like, a mothership's worth of minerals of Wrathwalkers than it is to buy a mothership, but you know, who's counting anyways? Sometimes the motherships demand to be purchased. So yeah, here's how I think everything stacks up this week. So I have Manx in the S tier because more money, more Royal Guards, more Royal Guard EXP. Royal Guards are really strong. If Manx rolls a life aura, you can slam the boys in the life area of the Hallowed Ground, or Zerglings in the life area of the Hallowed Ground, and then you can slam down tanks in the increased attack speed area. And that could just be like your go-to strategy for literally everything. Most big boys are massive in some way, so Sky Furies will be really good against them. So there's also that. You could also just spam Aegis Guards in the center, I think, with the cooldown reduction. That's actually secret hidden OP strategy that I'm probably going to do a little bit of this week. Just because the Aegis Guard cooldown reduction on his stim can probably bring it down to, like, I don't know, 10 seconds? Maybe not that much, but like his stim lasts for 7 seconds. So he effectively only has like 12 seconds of downtime on his stim. So very high potential here. Zagara's up here because the only thing holding Zagara back is the amount of money she has. Bountiful means Zagara has more money. There's very few commanders that can really handle Zagara at her most explosive on the ground. And really, all that really matters is just blowing up the ground at the end of the day. I don't know. I really don't think like it's worth the time for Zagar to go air, because Zagar's air is mostly like I have to buy it because someone else has bought anti-air. I mean, or someone else has bought an air unit that destroys my ground units. That's about it. But yeah, Zagar's aberrations are pretty strong. I think only Han and Horner can just like straight up shut him down. But there's that. I think Stukov is also really good because Stukov not only has access to some really strong capital units, Alexander and Apox of which he can build multiple. He also benefits from the auras, like all the little jumpy boys and stuff. And I want to say like his tanks benefit probably the most in the sense that he can buy them faster. So you can have more. You can put them in the attack speed aura so they generate jumpy boys even faster. So the value generation engine is faster. You can get all your bigger boy front lines. Although it's probably better to just get more bunkers instead of more Apox. But, you know, if you got the money, you can just buy the Apox instead. So yeah. In the A tier, I think we have quite a few commanders as well. So Alarak is in the A tier because Alarak's units are also very pricey, so that's also holding him back. But with the extra Bountiful, that really helps him out. He packs Splash in the form of Vanguards. He packs very powerful long-range DPS in the form of Wrathwalkers, which, if you get attack speed and you put them in the attack speed aura, will basically just have like the same attack speed as like a Marauder, except it does like 130 damage. So that's pretty good. So yeah. I think Tychus is also A tier because of Bountiful. You will have more Tychus mercs. I should say that Tychus is probably only A tier if you know what you're doing, I think, at the end of the day. Like, if you buy a bunch of, I don't know, Vegas into stuff that, you know, Vega's not good against, then yeah, you're going to be D tier, boys. But if you know what you're doing this week with Tychus, I think Tychus can easily be A tier as well, because you can just have more outlaws, more cash to work with. So there's that. Hunter Horner is A tier because of just, you can hit your peak potential faster, where if you have enough of your Han units and enough of your Horner units, both get some really strong boosts. Usually you kind of have to like min-max or like choose between them, or, you know, do some sell-off cheese strategies, but you can probably just keep them all. I don't know, this week. And you can hit that threshold faster, because once you hit that maximum threshold, like all your Hellbat Hellions have like 50% increased attack speed, and all your Deimos Vikings, Wraiths, and Battle Cruisers have 50% more health, and so that just turns them into capital units by themselves. Like, I mean, I guess like the Deimos Vikings and the Wraiths, the the Battle Cruiser is already a capital unit. That being said, you can also get lots of Battle Cruisers, probably a lot more than you should have, but there's also that too. And then next we have Abathur in the A tier. I think Abathur is only A tier with certain strategies. So if you get the cooldown reduction on the Swarm Host, I think that's definitely a strong strategy, as we just witnessed there. But it's definitely not a standalone strategy, because it doesn't really do enough damage. So like some commanders will just plow right through it. Like I'm looking at like Zagar and Stukov. I think they can just plow right through that. Anyone who's got like great ground AoE that like explodes and detonates will just like clean it up. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can do a Ravager strategy too. That could also be probably more consistent. I don't know, because I haven't tried it. But usually the Ravagers are probably more consistent. Like, and they're cheaper to get too. Abathur doesn't really have any big boy killers though, so that is going to be one of his weaknesses. Yeah, there we go. And then the Haka here, I think, can also be A tier because of his Creeper Host potential. I'm saying potential because they're very expensive, and if you rush them right away, you'll probably die. But he can make use of all of the little baby auras by, like, you know, you can start off with like small Dahaka and then transition, or you can like start off medium-sized Dahaka, or you can start off like igniters in the center, Ultralisk, I don't know, Tyrannosaurs, maybe not the Tyrannosaur. Tyrannosaur is pretty expensive, and then like transition with like creepers in the back to siege. So the Haka will probably have a slower start, but he'll get there with more explosive force. So yeah. In the B tier, we have commanders that they'll do all right, I think. They'll do all right. They're not like, I don't think they benefit too extremely from the auras this week or the Bountiful, but they still benefit in some ways. For example, with Phoenix, If you max a type of unit, your unit's champion becomes super strong. So I'm thinking like maybe you could do something like with a Colossus and Warbringer, because Phoenix Colossi are only 300 minerals, so that's a pretty cheap spammable unit relatively, that has decent range, that's not gonna like just die like Legionaries, for example. So I don't know, potential Colossi spam incoming. They also do a decent amount of damage and they got long range, so it's just like, I don't know, good units to spam. I would probably spam carriers though, because they can also protect themselves. But Phoenix isn't. His capital units are his heroes, but then like once you have all the heroes, you're just sort of like, ooh, I can't build 6 motherships like Alarat can. So in the grandest scheme of things, not the greatest, but I think in the short term, sort of like 15-minute game, Phoenix is gonna do all right. He'll do all right. Sort of, I think, is the same thing with Raynor. I think Raynor this week you can probably just try to run it down with like your Raynor bio composition, because really that's about it. Or maybe actually might be better to just start spamming tanks like right from the get-go, because your tanks cost like not a lot of money, and you can buy more of them faster. The only capital unit Raynors are going to get is the Hyperion, but you can only get one of them, so it's like, that's the power spike. You just stop spiking after that one. So it's gonna be a little difficult, but you know, more money means more units, so it's not a bad thing, but it's not like super strong, I would say. Same goes for Nova. Nova's units are normally quite pricey, so you know, having more money is better, but I think the auras, the cooldown auras will benefit Nova nicely, but if you're in a situation where you can't really make use of the cooldowns, then it's like a little bit of an oof. Kind of like that last game that we just played. I don't think Nova could have made use of the cooldowns. You needed probably like a lot more armor and a lot more siege tanks to try and like break that formation there. But against like, also Nova kind of struggles against some capital units. Like I think versus like say Alarak motherships, if there's even a single Alarak mothership, and then Alarak just buys a bunch of, I don't know, whatevers, like Wrathwalkers, Slayers, Vanguards, you name it, the Goliaths are going to be like, oh no, what do I attack first? And then they'll die. Like if they try to kill the mothership, cool, they got the mothership, but then like they got shot down by everything else. So it's like, ooh, it's a little dicey. Most capital units are flyers, and heroic, so the disable is not the greatest. The mechanical disable. Warzone is B tier simply because I think of Stalker Stacker potential. That's about it. Stalker Stacker isn't really too strong. Like there are many ways to counter it, such as just brute forcing your way through it, which some commanders on the A and S tier can definitely do. So there's that. In the C tier, we have commanders who, I don't know, the money extra money kind of helps them, but some of the things like go against them. So for example, like Karax, it's great that he has +1 damaged aura and everything in the hallowed ground, but there's a chance that your opponents might get some amount of armor extra, and that's like oof to Karax. That's it. Some extra armor is just gonna end him. Your air power relies on your opponent having low armor values, so yeah, that's kind of bad. That being said, if you make a deal with your opponent so that none of you build anything that flies, Karax is not too bad on the ground, so you can probably smash your way through. But yeah, if that doesn't happen, then you're kind of screwed. For Statman, I don't know. I think the auras don't really help Statman too much overall. Like Statman sort of is a little funky. I guess the Bountiful does help him hit like critical mass faster, which is like not a bad thing. But I don't know. Like you need. This week, it's probably not Banelings, because, I don't know, Banelings just don't have enough staying power, because obviously they just blow up. It'll probably be some mix of, like, Ultralisk, Lurker, Hydralisk, something like that. I don't think BCLs are really ever going to make it. They just cost too much, and they just get shut down by some sort of anti-air flyer, because they can't hit air units. So there's that. Even though they have battle cruiser in their name, their battle carrier. Oh no, their battle. Yeah, they have carrier in the name. I don't know. So yeah. You can probably spike with Gary and Super Gary, but then that's it. That's your only power spike. So it's a little dicey there. Artanis, if you can handle swarmed up ground units and then switch into like Giga Tempest fleet, then potentially this could be very good. Potentially could be very good. The extra attacks, I think extra attack speed or extra cooldowns could be okay on Artanis for this week. I don't know about any of the other modifiers though. Like life is life, so it's not bad. But yeah, I think attack speed will probably be one of your best friends, and also cooldown reduction. So maybe like time would be like the best thing to get for Artanis here. It's just like it takes a lot of pieces to put the Artanis Death Ball together. So there's that. In the D tier we have Kerrigan. Kerrigan's entire hero power. I feel like Kerrigan's entire playstyle is just based on money and slapping down as many units as possible. I guess you can do that more effectively now, but you don't really have a good answer to real capital ship threats such as Alexander, Hyperion, Mothership, Augustgrad. Yeah, I don't think Kerrigan really has an answer to those guys. So you're probably gonna see a bunch of those guys too this week. So a little bit bad there. That being said, you could probably just keep spamming Hydralisk like a big chat and just run over your opponents anyways. That could probably be a strategy. And then Swan is Swan is the Swan. He has the Swan problem. The very strong back line, but oops, where is my front line? That probably is going to be exacerbated this week. Yeah, I don't know. I'm personally not I love the Swan back line. Cannot handle the fact Swan's front line disappears like a magic trick. So yeah, maybe there's a way around it this week, but we'll see. So that's where I think everything falls. Let me know if you guys think something different in the comment section below. And until the next video, until next time, I'll see you guys later.
The tires! Let's light some fires!
Need a light.
They picked the wrong fights.